Morning. I am Tessa-Marie and welcome to the Morning Blessings. How are you feeling today? Oh my goodness. From north to south, from east to west, this continent is freezing or on fire. Choices. Here we are. Good morning, sister. How are you feeling today? We are very cold and some places are colder, lots colder than us. So it has been a really nice morning. So, today is the 21st of January 2025 and it's cold. We are minus 17 right now. So that's Celsius. But we don't have the snow, but most of America is covered in snow. So good morning, everybody. And here you are. So done your it. Let's get it going for you. I said, lots of rain and winds all night and same this morning. Oh, so stay in bed and read and write and enjoy being alive. Welcome to the Morning Blessings. Spread your wisdom to the world. Whatever wisdom you have, give it to the world. Feed others your wisdom. That's my topic for today. It's good morning, Ezra. How are you enjoying the very warm weather we are having? It's raining and everything is different all over the world. Anyway, we are surviving it. We are in it. So, feed others your wisdom. You have wisdom. Give it to the world. Spread your wisdom. Do not be afraid. Do not hold it back. Wisdom is that thing that we talk. Good morning, Rosalind. How are you guys feeling today? Wisdom is something that they say you get with age. But as you know, we come into the world with wisdom. They believe you have to be old and aged old to be able to have wisdom and to use wisdom. I'm on the train heading into the office. Only thing can see are my eyes. Oh my God, I know it's cold, eh? So I know New York is cold, by the way, just in case you want to know. They're getting snow in Houston and in Florida, so things are really looking up all over the world. Anyway, yeah, they say we have to be older, to get wisdom. That wisdom is not something the young has. I disagree with that. I believe we come already with the wisdom we need to share. But what happens, they decide to tell us when we are knee-high to a grasshopper that we do not know anything. Good morning, Arita. How are you feeling on this very beautiful morning? Remember, girls and ladies, the chill is keeping your face from wrinkling. Remember, it's cold. So your face won't wrinkle anymore. It's going to be perfect. So what you have to remember is this. You came into the world with wisdom. You were born with wisdom. Hello, Ryan. Happy New Year. Welcome back. How are you feeling in this chilly morning, which is good for your face, making the wrinkles stay away? So we come into the world with wisdom. No one ever believes that. But when we were born, we were given all we need, all we ever will need to survive this life, and to thrive, and to be successful, and to live that fulfilled life. But somewhere along the line, they take it away from you. And it's not because they know that they're taking it away from you. Hi, Ryan. It's because they don't even know, because it was done to them. They will say to you, you know what? You don't know anything. You're a child. You're too small. You cannot do this. But if they look at you properly, they will see a child constantly is on the move. They go from one, good morning, Lisa. How are you feeling on this absolutely chilly morning? Good for the face, keeping the wrinkles away. That is important, that they observe a child's movement. They work on something, they do something, and then They leave and they might go. They'll come back and they'll attend to it. You'll ask a child, say something to a child, and they will tell you why. Why? And then you'll say, because I say so. And you're too young and too what? And some parents are silly enough to say, hi, Loretta, good morning. How are you feeling today? You're too stupid to know better. That's what they might say to the child. So they say, shut up and sit down. In my era, a child had to be seen and not heard. So the wisdom we have when we are looking at parents of behaving in a way that's not right, it hurts us. Or we turn around and we say something to them, but they ignore us because we are knee-high to a grasshopper. But we have the wisdom. We grow up, we become adults. We make choices, and because some of our choices were not favorable to us, or it wasn't the best choice for the moment, we were told that it was a huge mistake. And we were told we need to carry it until the day we die. But that seems stupid. That is ridiculous. A mistake is in the past. It is something for you to look at and say, okay, so this is a mistake, but it's behind me now. I can change that. I will never repeat it again in the moment I am living in. And sometimes when we take our wisdom and we make an effort to move away from it, there is always somebody that will remind you how stupid you were, how silly you were, how this you were. They just seem to dwell in the past. Good morning, Yuko. How are you feeling this morning? And you really don't know how to deal with those people that keep their entire thinking, attitude, breathing. Every move they make is based on the past. And the past is important. Do not get me wrong. Because I always admired it when, what is his name? Anyway, I'll get his name in a minute. When one of the actors, Sidney Poitier, when they asked him, what would you change in your life? He said nothing. Nothing. He said to alter anything from the past would alter the present moment. He didn't say, I carried with me. He said, it made me who I am today. It helped to ground me. It helped to make me stop and wonder. It helped to make me look at the wonder of the universe above. Look at what is happening. Everybody in North America wants to go south to the Caribbean, to places that are warm. The population differs there in race to what is in North America and Europe. Can you for one moment stop and imagine if they could control the weather, that we would all freeze in the Caribbean and North America and Europe would have temperate, not torrid, temperate weather all year round. But they can't control that. They try as they may, they can't control it. They will destroy it, but they can't control it. So your wisdom is in you. And when you are bold enough or audacious enough to go speak wisdom, there is somebody that will destroy it if you allow them to. They want it. It's not that they have it. They know you have something special. They want it. And they would destroy it so that you do not have it anymore. That's why they start at an early age to tell you you do not know. You're not smart. You have to learn. And even when we go to work, the person who had to climb the rungs of the ladder and had to pull and fight to get to the top, see you come in, you better wait your turn. It took me 6 years to get full-time in this company. Instead of saying, come on, I do not want another human being to be challenged to get a full-time job as I have. That's wisdom. That is wisdom. You realize somebody else is following in your footsteps. And one of the things for sure that person needs is a little lift. But you have you have the recipe. You have all the ingredients. And if you see they are missing one ingredient, you make sure you hide it in your pocket, you lock it, and you do not give it away. I worked for the bank. And when I realized that I had the power to enable others to do better, to get a house, to help them to get another job if they worked in the bank, I never held them back. The people that came to me when I was a planner, financial planner, and I saw that on Fridays and on Saturdays, these people were free to come to actually learn from me how to get a house, how to get out of debt, what to do. I changed my shift. I had a twofold reason though. My kids use me as Uber on Saturdays. Mom take me here, mom drop me here, mom pick up my cleaning, mom I'm over here, mom do this, mom do that. And I say, I'm like a taxi driver more than the Uber. So when the opportunity came with a choice to work Saturdays, I took it. Then I got wiser and I said 12 to 8 on Friday allows me to do working with people and help them. I had Monday off, so now my children had to figure out what to do on Saturday. I had Monday all to myself. They were all at wherever, school, work, husband, everything. I made doctor's appointment. It was perfect. I used my wisdom. I didn't fight with them. I just made a collection. So the wisdom I used was to enable these people. But sometimes when you put what you have on a platter or you teach somebody a recipe, or you give them the information they need to live that fulfilled life, you will find out they will not share. I remember so well, so many times so well. And it used to make me want to cry. I look at them, they have the same skin as I do. The accents are the same. I have helped you to get your home. And now I'm saying to you, tell your others at the church you go to every Sunday for hours and hours to come see me. And I will guide them to do the same. And you have no idea what I got for the answer. I'll tell you, if you haven't heard it from me before. Me, I don't want nobody to know my business, you know. So they wouldn't tell, they wouldn't share. Is that wisdom? No. And yet our job is to share, give it. Put our wisdom, what we know that will help somebody else, and that is wisdom, out to the world. So that our cup now is half full. And if we keep emptying our cup of wisdom into others, our cup will get full miraculously. You see, the person you help and you give wisdom is not supposed to say thank you to you. Don't expect that. They have to have sufficient wisdom to turn back and say thank you for encouraging me. Thank you for enlightening me. Thank you for being my friend. That's their job. And if you do not get that, that does not mean you have to stop being a server of wisdom to others. You cannot do that because that is your job. Your job is to do your best in each and everything you do. So if you know the answer and that person needs that answer to enable them to live a fulfilled life, and you have the audacity to hold it back, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're failing. You're not doing your best. And to succeed, one has to do their best. And every time you go to do your best, it will be better than the last time. But you cannot stop. If you want to be careful and observe successful people, what gave them the success? They do not stop doing it. They do not say, well, I've made all the things I need to make. I have all the money in the world. I'm going to stop. No, they don't stop. Why? Because they know you have to keep going forward. Anything that stands still will smell. A dirty plate left on a counter will show up with maggots in it, unless you decide to clean it. You decide you use it. Now you're washing it, you're putting it away. That is what we have to do, continually moving to improve ourselves. And that is where wisdom comes in. And when we get that little bit of wisdom, as small as a mustard seed, what do we do with it? We need to say, hey, I found out how to do this. Do you want to know? Or I observe you're doing this. Can I help you? That person that does that is always growing and getting better. And you see, nobody attributes this to wisdom. They don't. It's your wisdom that makes you realize today you can do this for 20 minutes, but if you keep doing it, you can do it for 40 minutes and you won't be stressed. The observers and the non-takers of action, I put my words however I want, the people that observes us as we march through life, and the non-actionable people, they do not take action. All they do really well is to remind you how you stumbled, how the strong man stumbled. They will tell you of those that stumbled before you, just to keep you down. This is their level of their wisdom. You and those of us who knows that wisdom comes to us as we take it and give it away will rise above that. We will rise like the phoenix from the ashes. The phoenix did not stay in the ashes. It came up. So wisdom is not ours to keep. Feed others your wisdom. As you give wisdom, you accumulate more. Never stop spreading wisdom. You don't have to force it on someone. And if you're not sure that you have wisdom and you're facing a situation where you need to have an interaction, if you were me, what would you say to this person now? That's the question you would ask. You ask. Hi, Marina. Welcome back from Portugal. And as you go in and you say to wisdom, what should I say to that person? Before you know, you can see who is messaged you. You can see what is the name. And you know that conversation is going to go south. Because that's where they lie, south. So before you get involved in that wind, stop for a moment. You're welcome, Marina, and say, what would I do? What would you do now? If you were me, you can say, God, if you were me, what would you do now? Universe, I don't care. Energy is around us. Ask that rabbit that's eating your cabbage in the garden. Ask the squirrel, hey squirrel, what will you do now? You just never know the thought that might come to your head. What is important is knowing that you have wisdom as little as you do. You know what your wisdom makes you do? Your wisdom allows you to share. Now, what are you sharing? So, you are somewhere where you're not normal. And for the moment, the scenery in front of you has pulled you into it. It has intoxicated you. You're feeling it like it's a lover that you're going towards. You take a shot of that and you spread it. You send it out there. There is somebody somewhere that needs that. Maybe they too are somewhere. They have already taken the shot. But they're so afraid that if they post it, people will criticize them. And that's what people do. But what we must do is be bold and share it. Sometimes my sister gets a sunset on the estate. The porch, there's part of the porch that faces the west, so you can see the setting sun. And each second is different. And then there's a spot of it that faces east. And you would have to be aware and to be alert to see the rising sun above the trees. It's a higher elevation. But if you're able to see that and to capture it, you notice that type of image, those images, it fulfills you. It makes you feel good. If it does that for you, it also does that for somebody else. Good morning, Azim. How is life in India? And good afternoon. And one thing we have to remember is that when we capture actual moments where it triggers a feeling inside of us that is actually intoxicating and feels good and tastes good and looks good, we need to let somebody where the sun is not setting now, or it's setting cloudy, or it's not rising the same way it's rising with you, to share it. When you do that, you're allowing others to feed off your wisdom, your wiseness. Wisdom is not tangible. Because you see, an action is taken, but you cannot hold the action. The action has the action has nothing you can do. It's an action. You have to go to it. It's not coming to you. So it's not tangible. It's not like holding a fruit in your hand. But you were blessed with this camera, and Marina does that. She sends all these beautiful sceneries that are bright, and she shares that. And whoever sees it can enjoy it. So make sure in your wisdom that what you're sharing is going to uplift another human being. Do not share what is not going to uplift others. Wisdom is telling you that. We need to move them from the mess into the sunlight, from the darkness into awareness. That's what wisdom does. We talked a little bit about that yesterday, of Solomon's wisdom. Can you imagine all these people sitting in that big place, wherever it was, all these hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, and listening to him make that choice? I would have never thought of that, the wise men must have said. I would have never think of it. Wow, that's wisdom. So it made them aware. He gave them a choice. And that is what wisdom does. You say, you know what, you're heading this way. But can I tell you something? Do not force your wisdom on others. Wait for them to be ready for it. Just like you had to be ready to receive it. And ready to be bold, and do not let the stifling of your wisdom in childhood, when they said, shut up, sit down, you do not know anything, you're stupid. Do you know parents say that? You do. And then stand up. And wisdom will tell you, you're not your parents in your parents' house anymore. So the people that haven't realized that, yes, it was horrible growing up over there 20, 40 years ago, they have to ask themselves the question, why am I still leaning on that time of my life? Wisdom will tell them that. Wisdom will teach them to accept and realize that was your parents' lifestyle. You happen to be a child under those rules. You are no longer a child. Isn't there a quotation in the Bible? I don't know that one very well. Like, when you're something, you behave like a this or child, or you know what. Anyway, you know what I mean. We couldn't control that, right? But now, you can control that. You can change that. You can say, I will never, ever do this alone. I have a funny story. I have a brother. His name is Curtis. Curtis was a young boy, and the floors in our house were wooden, mahogany, and they had to be polished and cleaned. And although they were helpers, we had to do a certain amount of chores. And Curtis had to polish the living room floor as a little boy. And he said, when I become a man, I'm going to have glass floors so my children never have to polish floors. I looked at him. I go, okay. So you see what I mean? He accepted his plight. But he knew he had the opportunity to grow and become a man. And he decided there and then, I will never allow myself to find myself in this position where I am making my children polish a wooden floor with a coconut husk and polish and make that floor shine. He was, I don't know how old he was, he had wisdom. It's wisdom that made him decide this is it in my parents' house. But when I get my house, I'm not going to have that happening in my house. There's no way. I'm going to have glass floors. He didn't really think how dangerous a glass floor could be. But you know what I mean? Hi, Lauren. How are you feeling this morning? Thank you for coming. So this is what. Hi, Lisa. How are you today? Missed you. How are you feeling? Is it cold enough for you? And snow. We don't have snow. We have cold. So wisdom made my young brother looked at that mahogany floor that he had to polish. He must have been 8 or 9, I don't know, 10 maybe. And he's kneeling there polishing the floor because that's what he had to do. That's what my dad and mom decided we had to help. And Curtis made a proclamation that when I become a man, I'm going to have glass floors so my children never have to polish a wooden floor. Of course, you cannot have a glass floor, but in his mind, he knows he's going to do better. That is wisdom. Yet we don't believe children have wisdom. And we tell them they don't know what they're doing. You're not smart enough, you're foolish, you're dumb, go in a corner and sit down. And then all of a sudden, we're thrown into adulthood and we do not have the wisdom because they did not allow us to be. So when someone, a child, a person that is not quite there yet, give you an argument, ask them why they're saying that. Tell me, what is your point here? Have the discussion. You wouldn't have wanted to be at our dinner table Monday to Sunday, Saturday to Sunday, because there's always somebody having some discussion that you had to listen to. And let them express their feelings, because they have to go in the world. And that is parental wisdom. We cannot dictate to others how we expect them to function all their life. And then when they make mistakes, we are going to say, didn't you know better? And when you choose as an adult to lean on what happened to you as a child and take it and do not change, that is a lack of wisdom. Whereas wisdom is given to us on a platter so that you came into the world of wisdom. You don't have it, or you cannot find it, or you don't believe you have it, ask yourself the question. If you were me, what would you do now? Wisdom given to others is feeding a plant. It is like sunlight and fertilizer. So when you have wisdom, it's not advice. Wisdom comes with a story. Tell me your story. Tell me what you had to do to become who you are. Tell me who you stood up to. Tell me that you believe you have free will and you can choose and you can listen. You can hear two sides of an argument and you can know when one is just damn stupid. Is it the right time to tell the fool that what you're telling me is stupid? No, it's not. But you know you will not repeat that. That is wisdom. When you realize what that person is saying or doing is not for you. That is wisdom. That doesn't mean you have to tell them it's wrong. But as you go through the journey called life, you will come across that. You might be sharing that seat with somebody close to you and they're attempting, and then you can tell the story. Without the story, wisdom does not spread. Without why you're saying that, someone will not understand the true meaning of the story. Wisdom is very, very, very unique. And it's not everybody that knows. Hi, Ellen. How are you feeling this morning? Cold? It's not everybody that knows how to capture wisdom and how to give it to another one. Because sometimes we have it. We know we can give it, but we want to give it with a stick. And the most common form of wisdom given is through fear. You don't have to make somebody be afraid to tell them, give them the right advice. You can give them a choice, because every side of a story, it has two sides, right? As I said, we come into the world with our wisdom. And because they don't believe we're good enough, they chop it away from us. But there's a time we have to realize we've got this. And we're no longer a child in our parents' home. We are humans, adults. And we can choose and we can cultivate wisdom. We can be aware of where we are. Is this the right time to run, or is this the right time to stand there? What is it? Wisdom. But you know where you will find it is in the moment of time. Wisdom is not going to go any other way except in these little moments you have. So, feed others your wisdom, spread your wisdom to the world. As you give wisdom, you accumulate more wisdom. Never stop spreading wisdom. Your cup is always full of it. They're not big things, they're tiny things, tiny, tiny things. Wisdom given to others is like feeding a plant, sunlight and fertilizer. It will grow. But the miracle is your wisdom begins to grow even stronger. So guys, have a wonderful day. I have to check some comments. Dawn, yeah, you came. Dawn had something, Lisa. If you do not learn from your mistakes, it's no use making them. Oh, that's a hard one, Dawn. No, they don't share. They are fixed in the competition mode of selfishness. They don't share. No, it's not even that they're selfish. They're afraid. They don't have enough to give. I told you guys about Curtis, right? Well, Norman said to me, I don't have to give. Which in fact is, you have. That's why you have to give. It's because you have. He didn't say he didn't have. He said, I don't have to give. So we have to watch our words because they shape our future. So the thing about it is that then you don't get the opportunity to receive because you're too busy holding on to what you already have. Whereas if you let it go, something new will come. It always does. It's like giving. Have you noticed the more donation you make of your clothing, the more clothing you get? That's how it works. The more you give, the more you get. Thank you. My hubby is listening and he said, agree that it is important to share your wisdom when asked. Thanks, Lisa. Hello, Kimberly. How are you feeling? I heard New York is under the weather. All of America is cold. Dawn has rain in the mountains. We have cold, minus 17 Celsius. And it's cold. So if you have soup, this is a comfort food day. Lasagna or pizza, something that is going to fill you up. And soup. So, well, Kimberly, thanks, Loretta, Ellen, Yoko, Marina, Colin, Lisa, Dawn, Lisa, Arita, and Rosalind. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Take something from this and see what you can do with it. It's important to share a little of you. Have a great and wonderful day and take care of yourself and those you love. Make sure everybody is warm. And if you're in a mood and you can afford to do a donation to a shelter, this is the time to do it. Have a great and wonderful morning. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.